In July 1972, Sadat expelled 8,000 Soviet military experts from Egypt. If the move was calculated to attract American attention, then it succeeded.
We began to have a second look and a third look and a fourth look at President Sadat. And we said, well, there is an opportunity here. And certainly we ought to explore what the man really has in mind.
In February 1973, Sadat's special advisor, Hafez Ismail, was invited to Washington to meet President Nixon and his national security advisor, Henry Kissinger.
Dr. Kissinger said that you cannot expect to win on the negotiating table what you lost on the battlefield.
But Sadat insisted that control of the Sinai was non-negotiable and that the land would be retaken by force if necessary.
I can say to you in all candor, we didn't believe him. We didn't know Sadat very well. His reputation at that time was, and I mean no derogatory evaluation, his reputation at that time was as a hot-headed nationalist.
Wounded by Israel's dismissive attitude and the American condescension, Sadat calculated that he would only be taken seriously by going on the offensive. The Egyptian president coordinated with his Syrian counterpart, Hafez al-Assad, on plans to launch war against Israel. On October 6, 1973, in a joint operation, the Syrians attacked in the Golan Heights as Egyptian forces crossed the Suez Canal, capturing a narrow strip of land in Sinai, but went no further.
The Syrians sent several messages, of course, to Egypt to find out what was going on. Why weren't the Egyptians attacking? Nobody seemed to understand, and of course nobody had a clue to Sadat's secret diplomacy. He thought he'd struck a great blow, and that was sufficient.
After 3 weeks of fierce fighting and with a fragile UN ceasefire in place, Sadat's dreams came true. In November 1973, Henry Kissinger arrived in Cairo for talks, a visit that Sadat had been anticipating for a long time.
When he first met with Sadat, they talked about world strategy, China, Russia, global balance of power. And Sadat loved being treated like a big statesman. So they didn't just talk about the little, you have this little problem with Israel. And from then on, he thought that with Sadat, he had a negotiating partner who could think big.
Sadat's tactics seemed to have won the day when Kissinger brokered 2 agreements between Egypt and Israel.